Hey personality people, Ashley here. Still trying to figure out if my guy is an ISFJ or ESFJ, and I'm back to Socionics and now looking at the first function because I remember I mistyped myself, I believe, through Socionics initially because I was just looking at that fourth function. So let's go back and look at the ESFJ, and I'm just going to look at the kind of key parts of the first function. So for that ESFJ, of course, that's FE. ESEs, attuned to emotional environment. They want to make sure that everyone's getting along around them. They're focused on the needs of others. They adapt easily to others' expectations. They avoid expressing their own dissatisfaction. They remember the emotional states of past situations. Everything rings true for my guy so far, so let's continue on. ESFJ expresses an upbeat, cheerful demeanor, brings others out of their shells. People who feel left out, the ESFJ can sense that and is sensitive to that and goes out of their way to help those people feel included. ESFJs take action based on emotional responsibilities they feel, and they're uncompromising about getting their way. Now, that point does not resonate so much, but I have seen it happen on a few occasions. Being seen as overbearing. I've rarely seen that in my guy, fortunately. ESFJs are involved in causes, and they may lack a sense of internal guiding principles. I can agree with that, because they integrate the moral norms of those around them. Yes. See, that's that social order, social harmony, judgmental nature of extroverted feeling. ESFJs make sure the needs of their loved ones are cared for. They're other-directed. They can lack a sense of what they want for themselves. They can predict others' intentions. Not so much, from my experience. And sometimes provide unwanted assistance. Again, that's that overbearingness in the name of tough love. ESFJs like routine. They have methodical lifestyles. They enjoy socializing with others, outgoing and energetic. Yes, I can see that in my guy for the ESFJ in Socionics, the first function. Now looking at the the ISFJ, the SEI, first function, we have introverted sensing. Let's see how this compares. SEIs, aptly aware of whether they are comfortable or relaxed, making sure that their physical needs are satisfied. I mean, he can be a little bit picky, but not too picky. He wouldn't express his dissatisfaction like the other one. SEIs, their world around them is overly hectic. They might feel that way. They can dismiss the productive demands placed on them. Yeah, this does not sound like him. Overly socially anxious, afraid of disappointing others. Not the socially anxious part. Overwork themselves, yes. Maybe highly industrious and dutiful workers, yes. A down-to-earth quality. And focus on events, relationships relevant to their physical environment. Yes, that is for sure. Their style of conversation may come across as mundane. And they're focused on bettering sensory experiences, including fashion, food prep, dance. See, this is the most common personality type, the ISFJ. So just comparing that first ESFJ, extroverted feeling, and the ISFJ with the introverted sensing, I noticed some parts for the ISFJ that did not ring true for him. So even though we were looking at that fourth function before in that other video, Based on this, I think he's an ESFJ. I want to go move on now to the second function, though, because I'm just curious. It's still a top function. Back to ESFJ, now the introverted sensing. Focused on sensory experiences, a lifestyle that will afford them comfort, harmony, opportunity to focus on the finer points in life. Ensuring the positive sensory experiences of others. Aesthetics, cooking, fuss extensively over health, he does, and well-being of others. Can be impatient and pushy. A little bit. Gets along fine without needing outside assistance. Individualized sense of artistic expression, maybe a little bit. Expresses their interests in moral causes. Further their own sensory pleasures, like cooking, gardening, music, interior design. No, he's really simple, not so much. Fastidious about their environment, though, yes. Attracted natural surroundings, organization and neatness, great attention to their appearance. Active and industrious lifestyle, feeling that there's like a lot to do. He doesn't feel that way so much anymore. At least he doesn't seem to express that. Difficulty enjoying themselves if those around them appear uncomfortable. I would agree with that. He tends to ease a social situation before just moving on. Now we compare that to the ISFJ, the second function, back to extroverted feeling. For the ISFJ, the peacemaker behaves according to predominant emotional affect in a given environment. Okay. May feel confused and deflated if somebody espouses viewpoints contrary to the predominant mood. No, he's more open-minded than that. He doesn't seem to mind. Develops a mild, friendly, and soft-spoken demeanor. May be inclined to be avoidant, withdrawn, and socially reserved. No, I can't see him that way. Concerned with social acceptance and interpersonal dynamics. Wow. So, looking at those top two functions, so far we are ESFJ, even though I see him more for ISFJ. And we've already gone through 3 of the functions. Let's just go now to the third function while we're at it. Back to the ESFJ, that third function. That third function, we are now at the extroverted intuition. My favorite function as an ENFP. ESFJ and extroverted intuition. Quite open to a wide variety of ideas, little confidence in their ability to understand abstract material. He would never admit to it, but maybe I can see that in him. Difficulty coming up with new or innovative ideas. In my opinion, yes. Inclined to offer suggestions for new fun activities. Not so much. Maybe averse to depressive or darkly themed novelties? No. He'll watch Netflix and things. Focus on lighthearted and fun aspects, avoiding darker or melodramatic themes. He can be a lot more cheerful. The darkness doesn't drag him down. Preach values of universal tolerance and friendliness. Yes, that's him. Now back to ISFJ, the third function. Ooh, here we go. Introverted logic, TI. ISFJ. I didn't underline anything, so I guess I'll just have to read this. Seek clarity in their system of beliefs and understanding. Seek to reinforce and expand their base of knowledge by assimilating information in the form of easy-to-remember models or systems. May be inclined to developing models and belief systems based on a large amount of data they have personally processed or personal experience. It can be difficult to dissuade them from or convince them to reevaluate the beliefs that they develop in this way, or to introduce additional variables into the conceptual equations that they produce. SEIs may be very adept at organizing data and sometimes can exhibit a meticulous fascination in the numbers and conceptualizations that they derive from it. Wow, I can't so much see this in him for the ISFJ. ISFJ, anxious to satisfy themselves that they have already learned enough on a subject to reach definitive conclusions. Let me read that again. ISFJs are anxious to satisfy themselves that they already have learned enough on a subject to reach definitive conclusions, and dislike the idea that acquiring expertise in a given subject is a never-ending process rather than a step. They may dislike having it pointed out or demonstrated that their understanding and expertise was not as definitive as they had concluded. Okay, I can see that in him. But just looking at everything, functions 1 through 4, I would say that my guy is an ESFJ. So we are the ESFJ ENFP combo. That's good to know. Of course, any type can successfully connect in theory with any other type. So now I'm ready to get to work and dive into optimizing the compatibility between our types.